No more Marshall Mathers, black music matters, and black lives too, but they shooting at us, shooting us down, and we ain't got time to take it. Mike Brown, Trayvon, they was trying to make it. Dan and Sandra Bland, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor now. It's been going on, but it's major now. They treating blacks like we back in slavery now. No way.
DJ Calm Down TV. Man, who these people click to see?
MUG Amillion is in the building, man. CEO of Money United with Game. Founder and instructor for the MICC Music Industry Crash Course.
Okay. All right. Now, where we at right now? Because we're in Nashville. We see the our studio in Nashville behind us.
Yeah. We in the office, man. This is the headquarters. You know what I mean? We lease the office space out of the iStudio Nashville building. Okay. It's a co-working space, multi-facility. We got event space here that we rent out for people also. And we got office suites still available too if people looking for somewhere to set up shop with their business. But this is where Money United with Game LLC is located. Also the home of Fly Chick. And yeah, man, that's where we get down and handle the business.
Affiliated with Nima.
Yeah. So I'm on the Nashville Industry Music Awards. I'm actually the director for the Urban Music Council. We just celebrated and had our 14th annual award show. We did it virtual this year. It was a big success. But yeah, I pretty much oversee all the hip hop and R&B, anything urban music wise, man. I kind of oversee all of that department right there for the Nashville Industry Music Awards.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, how was it? Like you said, I did it virtual this year.
Yeah.
How much different was it? You feel me? Versus normal.
I mean, it was actually a good experience, man. Being able to kind of like pre-tape the whole thing and actually work behind the scenes and producing the show along with Cormac. Of course, we would have loved to have been in the physical form and meet and greet and handshake with everybody and put on a great live show like we normally do. But I think for the experience and the times that we're in right now, man, it was a real good experience though to see it, especially to be able to see it on TV. Right. Even though it was via the website, but we was able to plug in the HDMIs and all that, man, and have it on the TV screen. So to see what we done and the feedback that we got from the people, man, I think it was definitely worth it, man. It was a great time this year.
Okay. Now let's talk about the name, MUG Amillion.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people want to know, well, when did the name change and why?
Yeah, got you. So the name MUG Amillion came about, man. So in 2014, I was making my comeback to the rap scene or whatnot, just kind of, after a separation from the Vietnam status movement and everything that I was doing, which I'm sure we'll talk about that. So in 2014, I cranked up a couple new records. I was actually in the middle of doing a song called 20 White Boys that I did with Lil White. And we were about to crank up a promo tour, And so on the tour, prior to the tour, I would start getting like phone calls from people. This was like early 2014 maybe. Okay. I was getting phone calls from people just kind of like congratulating me on the deal with Slim Thug and different things of that nature. And I'm just like, what are they talking about? So come to find out, it was a guy down in Houston going by the name MUG, which at the time my name was MUG. And they had the dots in there and everything, the actual acronym that stood for Money United with Game, which was my name at the time, and it's the company name now. But this guy that was signed to Slim Thug, had recently got signed to Slim Thug, he was going by the same MUG. And so, me looking at it at the time, it was like, okay, dude, apparently a little bigger than I am, because people giving me phone calls thinking it's me, when really it's a whole nother artist in a bigger market, man, going by the same letters, MUG. Right. So what ended up happening, prior to us finna go on the promo tour, I was like, well, I definitely can't hit the road still using the MUG and, end up in some kind of lawsuit situation or we gotta go back and forth. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We gotta go back and forth about who really started the name first and all of this and all of that. So it kind of just came to me, man, was like, okay, maybe it's time to rebrand and rebuild everything anyway, even from my name standpoint. And so I kind of went back to the archives of some of the nicknames, because as a street guy, I was already being called just MUG anyway. You know what I'm saying? They weren't calling me MUG like my professional name was. And so a spinoff to the nickname MUG from the hood, one of the guys used to always just call me MUG Amillion. He's like, MUG's Amillion, what you doing? You know what I mean? You know, so I kind of, like I said, dug deep into some of those situations, man, and you know, because I didn't want to veer too far away from my name, because I had already put a lot of time and years into building the MUG brand.
Right.
And so the MUG's Amillion just came to me for some reason. It stood out. You know, I was able to still keep the MUG a part of that. We threw the money sign on there, and then Amillion is like my last name, so it's like MUG's Amillion. But then a little bit even after that, God kind of sent me like a revelation to the whole name change thing, and it kind of put a real purpose behind everything for me. So the MUG's Amillion actually became more of a movement and a lifestyle, meaning that MUG, myself, MUG, is now just one of a million. MUG's one of a million, man. I'm one of a million people telling that story that I'm telling right now. You know, going through the struggle that I'm going through. My brother facing life in the penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? My best friend getting murdered and killed from gang violence. You know what I'm saying? Losing my closest cousin to street violence. You know what I mean? In the street life. So, you know, that's kind of where it came about, man, and what we had moving forward with everything, with the MUG's Amillion.
Okay. So when would you say you first started rapping?
First started rapping.
And you did something with you used to be a part of Cash Billionaires, correct?
Yeah, man. So that was the first original group that I started on more like a professional level. You know, I was rapping before then with my brother and my cousins. We had a group. One of our little original groups was called CUZ, C-U-Z, that we used to go by, and then that elevated as we got a little older. You know, when we was doing CUZ, we was kind of doing like the Belle Bill DeVoe and Boys to Men kind of stuff, the Immature and all that kind of stuff. We was real young, you know,
that performing. Was the style, though, right?
Yeah, that was the thing, man. Like we performed.
That was the market.
Man, that was it, bro. You feel me? Like them females, they loved it. You know what I mean? And like we performed at all the birthday parties and family reunions and stuff. Some of my little cousins now would have, my female cousins would have. You know, so it was always, you know, about entertaining the ladies. You know what I mean? For us early on. But Cash Billionaires came about, so once I got into high school, we had kind of just moved to Haynes Garden, right there, out east or east north, wherever people want to call it, you know what I mean? It's right there on the borderline of both. But we kind of moved out there to that Haynes Garden area, and that's why I was already kind of like building my name with the MUG there anyway, you know what I'm saying? Speaking of the name and everything. But it was crazy because, so in the neighborhood, I was rocking with my guy, Lil Sammy, you know what I'm saying, R.I.P. Women. We lived in the neighborhood together in Haynes Garden, but then I was going to school, and I ended up linking up with the homie Lil Vic, you know what I'm saying, went by Onion at the time. So, me and Onion in school doing the freestyle battles and stuff like that. This is Hunters Lane. We doing the freestyle battles and all that kind of stuff at school. Yeah, shout out to the Warriors, man. You feel me? No, I actually ended up graduating from White's Creek. But yeah, but I went to Hunters Lane, man, throughout my whole entire high school year, man. Just my senior year, they did that transfer and neighborhood change. And they wouldn't approve mine, man. We was a little on the bad side, so they was like, nah, you got to go. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, being, you know, at Hunters Lane, though, meeting with Vic, doing the freestyle battles and stuff in the hallways and lunch, you know what I mean, lunchroom and all that kind of stuff. But in the hood, I was freestyling and rapping with Lil Sammy. You know what I'm saying? Me and Women was building a nice little relationship and bond. Now, them two at the time had just come from being in a group together too. They all went to like Goodlettsville and Ewing Park and stuff together in middle school. So they had all just kind of went their separate ways with a previous rap group. So it was so funny, man, because Women was telling Vic about this dude named MUG, and Vic telling Lil Women about this dude named Lee that he go to school with.
It's the same person.
And they not even knowing it's the same dude, you know what I mean? So when we first had our first little link up, you know, they're supposed to be meeting up, you know, Women gonna be bringing the MUG dude to the table, Vic gonna be bringing the Lee dude to the table. We get to the meeting, it's just us three. You know what I'm saying? I'm Lee and MUG at the same time, you know what I mean? So anyhow, man, big shout out to some of the OGs in the city, man. Do It Yourself Records, man. Big E.T. and Ray Ball. That's how we actually got in our first little session. We did it at the United Artists Tower down there on Music Row. Ray Ball and E.T. brought us into the studio with them, and that's when I wrote the hook to the song that ended up being called Cash Billionaires.